A small disclaimer before we begin. This story is from a children's history of Malaysia by Tunku Halim. All rights of the story go to him. And I take no rights over the pictures and anime GIFs that I use throughout this video. I also want to apologize if this video offends you in any way. This is just me responding to the story as I narrate it out loud to you. Now, drum roll, please. Episode 2: How the Mouse Deer Inspired the Name Malacca. So after 5 years of ruling Singapore, Parameswara fled with his 1,000 men to the Malay Peninsula, where during the night they were attacked by large monitor lizards and had to run away. A week later, after struggling through the jungle, they arrived at the Muar River.
"We'll stay here,"
said Parameswara, who was tired of running and wanted to rest.
"We can build boats and catch fish. We can even plant vegetables here."
After resting a bit, Parameswara and his men started hunting through the jungle. One day while hunting, Parameswara's dog saw a mouse deer standing beside a wide river. And yes, there is no river in the picture, just imagine there is one. The dog chased the mouse deer, but instead of running away, the mouse deer kicked the dog. Then after this, the dog probably ate the mouse deer. But ignoring that fact, Parameswara saw the fight between the mouse deer and dog and said,
"This must be a good place. Even the animals are full of fight."
"Yeah, even the monitor lizards."
"Since I'm standing under this big melaka tree, I will call this place Malacca. Malacca will be our new home."
Jeez, this guy, haven't you already learned your lesson? Check if this is already someone else's home first. There were already a few fishermen and pirates living around the river and bay. See, I told you. When they heard that Parameswara was a divine prince, they asked him if he would be their king.
"Of course I will be your king,
Duh, who would give up that opportunity?
and I will serve you justly. As for you pirates, your job is to make sure all passing ships stop to pay their taxes."
Again with the taxes! Remember what happened last time you did that? Your wife died.
"Their ships can anchor here safely and we'll protect them." "Of course,"
cried one of the pirates.
"as long as they pay you and you pay us."
Yep, it's all about the money, money, money.
"I will. You pirates and my sea gypsies will be my new navy."
Since Parameswara and his new navy protected Malacca, many people started making their homes in Malacca. Some became fishermen, others planted crops. Parameswara's navy made sure that passing ships stopped to pay their taxes. The ships stopped in the Malaccan's harbour because they didn't want to be attacked. But when they found out Parameswara was the king, they were impressed.
"He's the descendant of the kings of Srivijaya,"
said the captain of a ship from India.
"They ruled for 500 years. Since Malacca now has a fine king, we should stop here to pay our taxes."
"And we don't have to travel to the Spice Islands now,"
said the captain's brother.
"We can sell the Malaccans our cloth, and they can sell us their spices."
But where did they get their spices from?
"From a ship that came from the Spice Islands last week."
This is wonderful. Malacca is a good place to trade.
Since Malacca was such a good place to trade, many ships started coming to Malacca. The ships carried spices from the Spice Islands, silk from China, hardwood and camphor from Borneo, and cotton cloth from India. The Malaccans bought these goods and sold them to the other ships. Soon people all over knew that Malacca was a good place to trade. Parameswara's navy no longer had to ask passing ships to stop in the city. The ships came in willingly. Parameswara's navy patrolled the sea, stopping pirates from attacking the ships. The funny thing is that they were ex-pirates. Because the sea was safe, even more ships visited Malacca. For half of the year, the wind blew from the west, bringing ships from Arabia and India. For the other half of the year, the winds blew from the east, bringing ships from China and Java. Malacca was a good place to stop because it was alongside a narrow strip of sea that everyone now called the Malacca Straits. Malacca was also where two monsoons met. One day, Paramaswara was riding an elephant when he saw 50 big and strange-looking ships sailing towards the port. He had never seen such ships before, and the people coming out of it were dressed in wonderful clothes. Soon more than 1,000 of them were heading towards him. The leader of the group bowed and said,
I'm Admiral Cheng Ho, and I come to offer you the greetings of China.
Welcome to Malacca.
I've brought with me beautiful tiles for your roof. Please accept them, Your Majesty.
It would be a great honor to accept your gift. Thank you. Please join me at my palace for dinner.
During dinner, Admiral Cheng Ho suddenly stood up and started to leave.
What's the matter?
I have to get back to my ship to pray. I'm a Muslim.
Cheng Ho smiled before bowing and walking out of the palace.
I've heard of this religion. The Indians who come here to trade are also teaching many people about Islam. Perhaps I should find out more about this religion. But we Malays have been Hindus for hundreds of years.
Cheng Ho and Paramaswara became friends. Cheng Ho even took Paramaswara onto his ship to go see China. It took many days to get there, and Paramaswara had to wear warm clothes because it was so cold there.
Who's that lady?
Whispered Paramaswara to Cheng Ho as he strolled around the emperor's fabulous palace.
Her name is Hung Lipo. She is the daughter of the emperor. Come meet her.
Paramaswara fell in love with Hung Lipo and asked the emperor if he could marry her.
Of course.
Said the emperor.
I've heard of your city and its wealth.
Yep, it's just about the money.
Hung Lipo will make a fine wife for you.
We also have many enemies. There's the king of Majapahit,
Your angry father-in-law.
and the king of Ayutthaya.
The overlord of the guy you killed, Tamagi.
Both are jealous of Malacca.
Yep, that's the only reason. Of course. No other reason.
China will protect Malacca. I will be Malacca's overlord.
Ooh, are you sure you want to do that? Want to know what he did to his last overlord?
And I will be your loyal vassal. We will send you tribute, gold from Malacca.
From the two rich ladies' paddy field? So once again, Paramaswara had an overlord, who was again his father-in-law. I am seeing a pattern. But now Paramaswara had learned his lesson and did nothing to anger his father-in-law. No one attacked Malacca because they knew China and Malacca were friends and family. So Malacca became a very busy place, with its port filled with many types of ships. Paramaswara built himself a huge palace. His noblemen from Balimbang, the men who now helped him look after Malacca, lived in large houses and orchards.
I now have everything I dreamt of,
said Paramaswara, who was now an old man.
I have a new and rich kingdom. What will the future hold for it, I wonder?
Soon night fell, and Paramaswara too fell asleep. The moon rose splendidly above the city and lit the face of the king. Soon his servants tiptoed into the bedroom and carried him to bed. Then Paramaswara died. And with the end of Paramaswara's life, I will also end this episode. Tune in next time for the Sultans of Malacca. Let's hope they do better than this guy.